So a nice visit with our defending world champion Mike Klippenstein, starting to the inside. 17 world titles under his belt in a variety of classes, but you have to be so impressed with the job that the youngster, the 17-year-old Kevin Retterer of Austria, did back in Moto number 1, Dave. Dominating fashion, winning that opening moto. The question is, can the 17-year-old sweep GP Ski and win his first ever title in this class as we're off racing? So all the riders taking on the conditions here as we go on board with Jeff Trogner, and you get a sense of how rough the water conditions are out here. So Trogner already left behind everyone as they'll come to the split, join each other, and come through the big 180 turn, Dave. And the question is, with Misao Hidaka, that 13 boat from Japan, battling Kevin Retterer, these two will battle for that whole shot. Can Kevin Retterer get that position?
It looks like Retterer held his line, and Misao overshot it just a little bit. Didn't want to have contact there. That could have taken both of them out. That wouldn't have been a good thing. But this Retterer kid, I think he's the real deal. He's already got 2 world titles under his belt going into this GP class today. And I can tell you right now, wire-to-wire Moto 1, we might be seeing a little deja vu from Moto number 1. But there are some spoilers out there. Of course, our defending champion, Mike Klippenstein, who trains like a madman. He's got the skills, definitely, to pay the bills out there. But you also have another former champion, Jean-Baptiste Body. He could be a factor, but he's a little bit farther. There's our American rider, Jeff Trogner, on the 85. And we should be seeing, I believe, Rob Flores out there. He's also one of the American riders that always keep an eye on out there. He's riding Skizilla. Let's see how it's all going to play out, though.
And the thing you have to be most impressed about is the way and the fashion that Kevin Retterer is able to jump out and get such a commanding lead, Dave. Not only does he get a great start, but he's able to add to it each and every lap. And we're only a lap and a half into this, and he already has a good 5-second lead on the competition in behind him. So not only does he have speed, but he's also showing the mental fortitude to run tough out there and not make any mistakes. That's not something you see from a typical 17-year-old professional stand-up ski racer. They're usually prone to making mistakes.
Well, we've talked about comparing him to Jeff Jacobs, and I'll tell you, this kid definitely has that style. He's got the experience already. I mean, he spends so much time in the water, so much time practicing, just getting ready for the World Finals out here. You know, I'm impressed, and I tell you, he's not succumbed to the pressure having Baptiste Body and, of course, defending champion Klippenstein. That can get inside your head there, but they're not even close enough to show him a nose.
And for Retterer, as he puts another lap on the books, he basically approaches the beginning portion of the race like a sprinter, almost like a guy going out there to run the 100-meter sprint. He goes out there, sets a torrid pace, and then he challenges everybody else to keep up with him.
Oh, what it was to be young again. But I can tell you, that's one of the things. He does train quite a bit. Youth is on his side. Some of these riders are in their late 20s to early 30s, too. Some of them that have peaked the 40 mark, but they're all top competitors in their game. It's just Kevin Retterer just seems to have his game together right now, and that's what it's about. He's mentally there, he's physically there, and his equipment's there. All 3 of those, you put them together, it's a winning combination.
On board we go with Jeff Trogner. Great perspective of the race course up and over the log jumps. Here's a guy who's been a professional since 1985. Grew up in the Newport Beach, Southern California area, now makes his home in Watsonville, California, and also part-time with his girlfriend Annie up in Vancouver, British Columbia. So Trogner competes hard each and every year and was always one of the top American riders, Dave, but not quite enough to get inside the top 3. And the GP ski class, your fastest ski class on the water. And you talked about the different setups some of these riders will use under their hoods. And what's interesting and unique about this class, Dave, different engine setups with different hull configurations. You don't have to run a same engine with same hull configuration. It's wide open in terms of what you want to put under the hood or any hull configuration you want to run.
Well, you definitely, see right there, see Rob Flores coming in. He's running a 1100 cc triple Kawasaki motor inside that Kawasaki. But we have guys that run Sea-Doo motors inside the Hydrospace holes. Seen the Sea-Doo motors inside the Cowie holes. Those are running usually a 951 motor, and they punch those out just a little bit. But, there's so many different combinations. The tubbies, widen the ski out a little bit. The different pump configurations, because the pumps that come with those things aren't designed to run with that type of horsepower. So you have to really rework everything. It's great because we're bringing a lot of the aftermarket companies back into the sport, and engine builders, man, they're having a great time.
In the midst of Moto number 2 for GP Ski, well past the halfway point, and you were talking about Rob Flores, the veteran from Las Vegas, Nevada, has never won a world title in all the years he's competed. He's been a professional since 1988, and forced to the sidelines here, Dave, with some mechanical issues, but it looks like he'll be able to fix it, get back on the water, and you can see the dominant lead that Kevin Retterer has as he tries to give Austria its first ever world title, and he's closing in on it, Dave, as we only have a couple of laps left. So the Austrian rider aboard that number 90 black machine looking for that first world title, and I'll tell you what, he is one young, excitable rider, Dave, and this is the future of the sport as we're bearing witness now with 1 lap to go as he's closing in on that world title.
Well, not to correct you, but he's already got a world title for Austria, but now they're looking for their first pro title, and that is big for them. I can just imagine how crazy everybody's going, and I got to tell you right now, Hydraspace, it's from Austria, so there's got to be a proud family. They run the Weber motors, and they're made in Germany. But I can tell you, the setup of these systems have worked really well, and it's great having a third manufacturer added to the mix again in racing.
Never say die. Mike Klippenstein, your defending world champion, not giving up, and he's desperately trying to hold off Jean-Baptiste Body, but with less than 1 lap to go, Body virtually needs Kevin Retterer to break down if he's going to win a world title, since he's back there in 3rd place. His only hope now is Retterer breaking. And for Mike Klippenstein, no hope of defending his world championship after a 6th place finish back in Moto 1. He's 2nd here in Moto number 2, so he could have a top 3 finish overall, but that's still unofficial at this point of the race. He's just trying to hold off Jean-Baptiste Body.
Yeah, right now, you know, I know they probably know how they're going to finish, but when it comes down to it, they're just down there to race right now. When the checker flag comes out, they let it all sort out at that point.
One final time, we go on board with Jeff Trogner. You can see the sun shining brightly through his helmet as we get a good perspective of this race course along the Outer Banks as he comes towards the shoreline here of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Much like summertime out here, Dave. You look at the weather here in this portion of Arizona, 9 months out of the year, they'll have average temperatures of more than 90 degrees. And here we are in mid-October, triple digits, and making the final turn for home, the 17-year-old Kevin Retterer will give Austria its first ever professional world title, and he's the happiest man as he dives off his ski into the water. Not sure if I would have done that, Dave, but hats off to the job Kevin Retterer did.
As a few riders going to be coming by, and oh, you can see him. Oh, and look at the drag race for 2nd, and it looks like Klippenstein's going to come across. Body's going to end up in that 3rd position. Body going to come by. You can see him circling around, and he's like, hey, I didn't hit him, did I?
And a couple of riders who know each other well competing together on the European circuit, that being Jean-Baptiste Body, who finished 2nd back in Moto 1. And your world champion for 2009, Kevin Retterer, number 90. Remember that name for years to come. He gets his first pro world title of his racing career in GP Ski as we take a look at all the final results here for GP Ski.
Year after year. And then, of course, the new guns. We got Retterer back out.
Really good. I felt awesome because, the stock class is cool to win, but, you think every time there's something bigger, something faster, and to win the GP class, it was the best feeling I've ever had.
I am Mohammed Mahsen from Dubai, United Arab Emirates. You're watching the IJSBA World Final 2009.